The Mass Effect games are all about taking down octopus-looking machines and bedding beautiful green men and blue women as the #1 galactic player, Commander Shepard, who has no problem at all in getting their hands dirty. But what if we were to take away Shepard's ability to kill, and the only thing they could do is yell at their squadmates to get in this damn room already? That's right, we're going to be going through the trilogy of Mass Effect without Shepard ever lifting a finger and putting the title Commander to work, with letting his friends do all the hard stuff while he takes all the credit like Thomas Edison. Now, some things to note, I have a bunch of mods installed on all 3 games, and I mean a bunch. But nothing that affects gameplay, I think. It's mainly mods to spice up hub worlds and restores cut content. Don't worry, I haven't modded every weapon to be just like the game yet. The other thing is the list of rules I've made for myself in this challenge, which you can refer to in the description below. Yeah, I'm doing it on normal difficulty. I want to remain somewhat sane. So with all that said and done, let's get this video started, which is focused entirely on the game that started it all. Our adventure begins with our ship heading to a mass relay to travel to the planet Eden Prime for a simple shakedown mission. At least that's what our crew and protagonist is told. Our protagonist being Shepard. Ned Shepard. Yeah, Mass Effect doesn't have mustache options for someone as deadly as this bad boy. Regardless, we are told to head down to meet with our captain, but not before we have a conversation with the legendary soldier, Richard L. Jenkins.
This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
Oh, Jenkins. So endearing. I hope a Geth recon drone doesn't drop you like a worthless dog. The captain and our new best friend Ilos tell us this mission is much more important than they previously let on. Color me shocked. And it's actually an evaluation of my CV and to see how good I am basically, and oh no, a big octopus is causing trouble on the planet below. Better send me and my friend Jenkins to deal with this tomfoolery. Oh dear God, Jenkins! Well, with that starts our first firefight, and with these just being recon drones, Kaidan, no one's first pick at prom, took them out with ease. Shortly after this fight, we meet and team up with Ashley, the tough, quirky racist. With her on the squad, it made fighting up to our favourite sleepyhead all the more easier. And oh yeah, this bad Thorian Saren shot and killed this good Thorian Ilos. Now things were running on easy street until we got to this platform here where both Kaidan and Ashley get dropped by regular Geth troopers, which naturally resulted in Shepard waddling away, as I thought I'll just pick them back up with Unity until I came to the gut-wrenching realization that Unity is the engine Tarkov was made on. No, sorry, it's that sadly, Unity is not unlocked yet. Saddened, but not defeated, I figured I might as well activate my barrier and rush to activate the tram, to which I was met with another deal breaker. The writer for the Mass Effect show is credited for writing Fast and Furious 9. No, not that either. It's that this is one of those sections in the game where the group of enemies has to be wiped out in order to progress. And so, Ned Shepard had to take a little nap on the cold metal floor. Sleep tight, Mr. Lightwork. After an embarrassingly long time of hiding behind cover, the squad dealt with the group of Geth and we were able to proceed. After a short tram ride, we see a 6-foot-tall lamp setting charges on bombs to destroy the colony. This naturally doesn't fly with Shepard, so he sends his teammates to do the whole soldier thing while we deal with the bombs. Light work, no reaction. After our squad deals with the last enemies, Kaidan decides to become really interested in that 5G signal tower, which Shepard has to save him as the hero he is. Watch your head there, broski. And then he has to endure this floating MacGuffin session that knocks him out cold. Must have been watching Talk 2. Saren is later informed by Boobies that we messed with his weekly upload from Haley and gets just a little angry.
Birmingham is a fucking shithole! I hate the fucking place! I fucking hate it!
Get a grip, boss man, come on. Shortly after a well-deserved rest from doing absolutely nothing, Shepard decides to tell us how he feels when he sees present-day David Schwimmer.
Minor throbbing.
But sadly, we don't have time to hear the rest of that story, as Keith David informs us that we have to get to the Citadel ASAP to report what happened on our mission to the Council. And after a big old load of waffles, they basically look at us and said, lol, you're fucking crazy. And with that, we have to find evidence that Saren is the big bad in the Milky Way. It's not like everyone has computers on their arms that can record stuff, I guess, but whatever. Our first lead is to go speak to some drunk cop named Harkin, who can lead us to the only viable romance option for female Shepards out there, Garrus. But before we can reach Harkin, we are met with two assassins, and Kaden and Ashley have just a little trouble with these guys. But don't worry, we definitely weren't here for long. Finally, we reach Harkin, and our conversation makes me realize that one of the mods I have has made the game think I'm playing FemShep at the moment, and I'm met with this line.
There, sweetheart. You looking for some fun? Sit your sweet little ass down.
Maybe later.
Yeah, you tell him, zesty Ned Shepard. With Harkin's information on unwanted flirting, we head to find Garrus at the medbay where things are getting just a little tense. I just wanted to get a blood test done, but when I asked the strange man who he is, Garrus puts a bullet right between the guy's eyes. As I'm afraid of conflict and don't want to give Dr. Michelle the ick, I naturally hide behind cover before she could see the fear in my eyes. Once the thugs are dealt with, I try to ask the doctor about my appointment, but she keeps on talking about some guy named Fist, an Aquarian with some important information. That's great, Doc, but I want to see if my iron levels are low or not. She decides to keep yapping, so I tell Garrus that he should hang out with me at the bar with unwanted advances, so he tags along with me. Once we arrive at the bar, the place is filled with armed men, and as much as I like men with big guns, this don't slide with Ned Shepard. As my friends deal with the armed men, I decide to deal with the drinks. Though I'm saddened by the realization that this bar only has those invisible kind of drinks. I figured there might be some Space Jack Daniels in storage, but this guy named Fist starts shooting at me. So my friends deal with him, while I yell at him, calling him a big meanie. To which he replies, "There is now a time and you must go save Tali, she's about 2 rooms away." I didn't know what any of that information meant, so I ran away scared and oh hey, there's the girl we're looking for. After my new best friends deal with the lizard, the Quarian offers up dirt on Saren, and because I supposedly saved her, she naturally joins the crew. Shortly after our meeting with Ambassador Compensating, we present this audio recording to the council exposing Saren as the bad guy, and thankfully no one has heard of AI voices, so they believe our findings. And as a result, I take all the credit for this hard work, and I'm basically made a super cop for all my friends' valiant efforts. But I still have to chase this Saren guy because the plot demands it or something. With our mission set in stone, we set off to our first location, Greenland, also known as Noveria, to see if we can track down Matriarch Benezia, Saren's right-hand booby haver. But first, we have to speedrun getting an access pass to leave the port. But fortunately, there's a silly little jellyfish here who wants us to obtain some big no-no package. So naturally, I tell him off the big CEO Elon Musk, and he rewards me with a pass. And with that in Ned Shepard's clean hands, we set off in our Land Rover. So let's listen to some Dua Lipa and make our way to Peak 15. Ignore them. Once we arrive at Peak 15, we're met with the opposite of Peak, as this fight in this one room was the biggest piece of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Ashley and Rex do absolutely fine with the start of the fight. That's when Rex decides to not struggle with a few steps. Like, how can you present yourself as this badass Krogan that defeated a fresher moron when you struggle with a few steppity steps? You've literally forced me to hide in a corner because both you and Ashley keep getting beat up by those 2 Krogan. Just throw a Solarian for them to eat already or something? 25 minutes later, we get further into the facility and we're met with our biggest fear. Snot lice. But luckily, the squad can just breathe on them and they fall apart quicker than my parents' marriage. Shortly after our encounter with space fleas, we had to endure a puzzle that would test the strongest of minds. And I definitely didn't look up the correct way to do it online, I swear. Once completed, a pop-up appears alerting me to hot single Rachni in my area, which happens to be both on the roof and in the main reactor of this place. But my team decided that I should stay single forever and wipe both groups out with absolute ease. They have no idea they could both die on Virmire. With both these areas swiftly dealt with, we're able to take a tram down to Rift Station. Once at Rift Station, I figured I'd head down to the med bay to grab some Medigel, but the doctor there says I have to cure COVID-19 in order to receive them. Okay buddy, you're not getting a good review on Yelp. I figured I might as well do it anyway, as I'm nothing if not helpful. But then some horrible Asari comes into the lab with orders to kill me, and let's just say, things don't pan out well for me. Luckily for us, Ned Shepard has 9 lives as well as his squad, and he's able to get right back up to his feet and do what he does best, hiding behind a cover. After the team deals with Nev the Bear, we finally find Benezia herself. Once confronted, she points out that I do not know the privilege of being a mother. flexing on me that I do not have a wound, which rarely gets Shepard feeling down. So he politely asks her if she can refrain from this negative aura she's bringing to the chat. That seems to only piss her off all the more, and proceeds to send in the Spice Girls to get rid of us. Luckily for me, I know the lyrics to all their songs, so the crew quickly dispatches of them. I go up to speak to Benezia once again to see if she's calmed down, which she does seem to have settled down a little, but she was actually just gaslighting me and whips out a pistol. What the hell is your problem, booby lady? I'm not like other guys. Once she's dealt with, Shepard decides to take a look at the big cool dog they have in storage. Oh, what the fuck, a zombie! Suddenly the zombie starts speaking, and I don't really speak corpse, so I decide to ignore that silly blue woman and let the dog out of her cage. Hopefully she's chipped and its rightful owner can find her. With Benezia no longer in the battle bus and the dog is set free, we have to go to another secret lab to activate bombs so the dog's kids don't escape because they are like really crazy. Now I know this might sound like I'm killing a bunch of aliens, but hey, you never actually see them die, so they could have very likely escaped the contained explosions. Down in the hot labs, we are met with an entire area of cut content from another mod I forgot about, which includes this crazy Thorian who has the oh so important arming key. Hopefully he doesn't do anything too wild.
I told you so. Hell!
Shocked and confused, Ned Shepard runs to find anyone else in this place that can help him. He doesn't do well in cold environments. He eventually stumbles upon a helpful guy by the name of... yeah, okay, I'm not even attempting to pronounce that. But hopefully he can help. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'll do it myself! Back on the Normandy and away from Santa's workshop, I thought it best for Ned Shepard to take a little break from his busy life of freeloading. So he decides to have a little conversation with Ashley, and I think he just accidentally did a flirt.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
They grow up so fast. Puzzled at how he even managed to keep up a conversation with a woman for so long, I thought we might as well head back to the Citadel to do some non-lethal side quests, which included saying hello to Admiral Mind Your Own Business, resist the urge to dropkick this reporter, did a little shopping for some juicy deals. Is there a reason this place doesn't have a Grex? Cured some woman's PTSD with a hug, gave an autograph to my favourite and only fans, helped out my favourite jellyfish from Jellyfish Fields, and told this guy to mind his own business when it comes to this woman's child. Take that, Trump. Ned Shepard was really enjoying his time out, but he soon realised that he has the introvert trait on this build, and called Joker to pick him up so he could go home. But Joker was all like, you have to go Feros now and fight some big underground plant thing. This sounded like a passive-aggressive attempt to make Shepard become a vegetarian, so he hung up immediately. Despite our best efforts to avoid the change of lifestyle, we have to head to Feros regardless. So I once again bring Rex and Ashley with me, as they're the only crew members using the Citadel's gym. The others will remain on the ship. Especially this one, because the egg timer is drawing to its end. Once arriving on the planet, we are met with the most impactful character to the Mass Effect series, David L. Oh, okay, he's dead already. With the squad having more decent gear, and myself discovering that they deal more damage on enemies when they aren't in cover, we move along swiftly to the main hub of this holiday destination. I tried to speak to reception about maybe getting a room, but the conversation is cut short when Cybermen show up at the front door. This doesn't fly with Shepard at all, and so he does his absolute best to keep looking good in these awful conditions, while the Firm does the whole shoot scenario they have going on. Jeez, they're really whipping up quite a body count, aren't they? With the group of androids dealt with, I go back down to reception to put in a complaint because the welcome I've got is not appreciated at all. But all they say is that I'm best heading to the Exogeny headquarters, and I find an identical looking rover to the one from our last mission, so I decide to take it for a spin because my horoscope promised me I would go on a joyride today. Once we did enough dodging and weaving and spotting for a quick Instagram post, we found a small group of people hiding away. Naturally, I assumed they were a part of the all-inclusive holiday here, so I thought I would say hello. I was just trying to ask if they do some quad VODs out here, when instead this woman Juliana keeps going on and on about finding her daughter Elizabeth. Like, do I look like a nanny? Find your own kid Mother of the Year? We then leave and stumble into Juliana's daughter Elizabeth. We get to chat and then she says the Geth are after the Thorian creature that's under Zoo's Hope. Take my card so you can go upstairs and talk to Clippy. This must have been some space northern lingo, so I respectively shook my head in agreement to avoid offending anyone. To which I met with a group of giant rats and run for my life. After my encounter with Stuart Little, we go upstairs to meet with what I assume is the hotel manager, but my friends decide to remove him from existence. Like, Jesus, I only put the challenge on normal difficulty because I know insanity on the other games would be, well, insanity, but can you guys please stop being good at murdering people? Whilst down here, I stumbled upon some valves that required us to do some maths. And if there's one thing that scares Shepard more than combat, it's maths. We quickly whip out an Omni calculator and figure it out, which leads to this ant-shaped ship falling off the side of the building. Honestly, an odd place to park. Joker sends us a Snapchat to let us know the colonists are trying to break into our ride. And that panics me as I left my PC on to install Baldur's Gate 3 while we were out, so we quickly ran back there. But not before Shepard could look like a hero and reunite a mother and daughter. To cut a family reunion short, this guy Ethan keeps droning on about his business going to shit, so Shepard decides to give him some marketing advice. Have you tried having a shocked face in every thumbnail? He seemed to like what we're putting down, but is still a bit worried about the colonists that are going a bit cray-cray. Luckily, Juliana mentions, Shepard, use these stink bombs to make the colonists go to sleep. Please don't kill them. Ah, finally. A weapon that helps me in my pacifist ways. On our way back to Love Holiday's #1 destination spot, we are welcomed by a zombie with big, meaty claws. Whilst the crew deals with the zombie dubbed Thorian creepers, avoiding the word zombie like it's The Walking Dead out here, I'm tossing the passy nades like the true hero I am. A few White Knight sessions later, and Phi Dan, the receptionist of this place getting a 1 star, comes out saying all sorts of crazy stuff. My god. He must be infected? Luckily, I have more than enough time and nades to put him down non-lethally, and oh my god, he shot himself! Honestly, I'm blaming BioWare for that one. There was more than enough time to save this guy. With all that settled with, we're left with just the plant thing down in this creepy basement to deal with. We finally reached the super secret lair to this big plant being known as the Thorian, which spits out clones of beautiful Sari. Wait, why do we want to get rid of this thing exactly? But unfortunately, the game doesn't believe in player trees that much. So the crew has to take care of all the clones, zombies, and this penis-looking slug known as a neural node. The crew certainly earns their golden star tickets for the day, with the scary, beautiful women and zomboids. But we come to a heartbreaking discovery, one that will change Ned Shepard's life forever. The squadmates can't attack or do damage to the neural nodes, which means Shepard's gonna have to shoot them. Devastated, but not defeated, Shepard pulls out his pistol with tears in his eyes. He finally has to do something. The node is dealt with, but then Rex has to say this insensitive line.
That hurt it, I can tell.
Each time a node is destroyed, there's another part of Shepard's soul he can never give back. Oh goddess, thank you for saving me from that monster's grasp. Shut the fuck up and give me the cipher already. Even back on the ship, everyone is saying what a great job I did down there. Hell, even the council calls up. We even tried taking Shepard on a night out, but everywhere he went, everywhere he looked, he was just reminded of the ugly looking penises he had to destroy. Sir, please, I'm not a Thorian neural node for the last time. A little pity party later, and we head on to our next mission, which most would complete first off, is the mission to recruit BioWare's favourite character, Liara. Now, the reason we've been holding off this section of the game is purely because of the encounter with Wally. But before we get to that, our little trip to what looks like Birmingham was quite a chilled one, which is funny given the volcanoes. Both Rex and Ashley have some pretty strong gear now, and the focus on Ned Shepard has been putting points into his barrier and medicine. And with that being said, the fights starting off here were quite the laid back ones. It made Ned forget all about his previous mission and gave him hope he could move on from his past, of actually doing his job. But like numerous beautiful women have told me in life, all good things must come to an end, and we're met with the Geth armature. And despite the squad getting dropped quicker than my life expectancy drinking Lucasades, we actually managed to get past what I thought was going to be a time-inducing segment. But I guess Ned Shepard is just that guy. We enter the dig site and attempt to get in the elevator, but some floating camera stands start to fire at me. Thankfully, my phobia of technology managed to kick in just in time and throw me right into cover. Once the stands fall to the floor, we head into the elevator and take it down. I was hoping we would find a McDonald's down here, as all this rallying the troops has got me hungry for some nuggies. But all I managed to find down here is the Rule 34 version of Grimace, who just so happens to be the person we're looking for. Shepard puts on the bravest face he can and starts talking to the silly floating blue lady. And she starts to believe that I'm catfishing her and I don't actually exist. She's just like me for real. A lengthy yap session later, and she points to a mining laser we can use to get on the other side of the shield, to show the blue lady that I really am a foreign prince with a wealthy family who's looking for a wife. I head down to the laser, but there's a robot oil protest going on down here. But the background characters of this thing storm in thinking they are the main stars of the show. Okay guys, we're all gonna get our time in the spotlight. Just know that I'm the highlight here, okay? Jeez. After the cast of iRobot was dealt with, I had to activate the mining laser, and thankfully, the security system for this thing consisted of a memory test game made for 5-year-olds. So Shepard felt really smart about himself today. With the laser doing the lasering, it creates a path to the other side where we need to move. I sure hope no space bugs were lodged in those rocks, or I'm calling Peter. Once passing through the sci-fi glory hole, we make our ways up to Liara, and she's all like, blah blah blah, the indoctrination theory is canon, blah blah blah. We set her free, I make no effort to let her know her mother's dead, and we take the inner elevator next to us back up to get out of this place. We contact the Normandy to come pick us up, and Rex comes out with this singer.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
Silly old Rex. I might just have to keep Ashley from shooting you in the back. Once we reach our destination, this big frog starts approaching us with an interesting pep in his step. But Riz or not, this guy is stopping us from leaving, and it's not giving mindful or cutesy at all. Liara shows off her independent side, and I let her know that she's in the friend zone. Maybe next game, but before we can engage in an argument on Twitter, the Krogan and his merry band of Oculus Quests attacks us. That was a mistake on their part, and what I can only describe as brutal karma is thrown in this guy's face, as Rex takes this guy for a dance in the center platform. Wow. A dance of dragons? With our enemies defeated by everyone but me, we are reminded that this place is falling apart, and we do a mad dash to the exit. With the mission over, Shepard felt it was only right to go speak to Ashley about their previous conversation. Ashley, it's me, Ned Shepard. I would like to talk about the flirting I did with you. To which Ashley responds by asking if I'm interested in her, baggage and all. I was a bit confused as to why she thought we were at an airport, but I'm not confident enough for confrontation, so I naturally agreed with her.
Can you shut the fuck up?
With nothing to do with his day, Ned Shepard was about to head out to his local space pub, but before he could do that, he got an urgent call from his employers. They must be calling to tell me what a good job I've done so far. If only that was the case. Instead, they bring up this Saren guy again, and have tracked him down to a planet called Virmire, and have asked us if he could go check it out. No overtime pay mentioned, by the way. Shepard was ready to call this out, but quickly got reminded about the name of the challenge, and managed to settle down and tell Joker exactly what's on the agenda today and where to go. On our way down to the planet, Caden has something very important to say.
Check out those defense towers.
Rarely making it an easy choice at this point, aren't you? We're told to meet up with the ragtag group of Solarians from the STI group or something, but we have to deal with some big AA batteries first in some tower. I get told nothing around here. Barely having time to take off in the Pimpmobile, I have to lock in fast on my driving so I don't accidentally run into the Yorkshire puddings on stilts. Odd place to put your food, guys, I'm not gonna lie. As beautiful as this place is, there was absolutely no time to admire the views with 50 Shades of Geth also being here. I'm sorry, but who left their Geth Colossus in this stream? And as if this business trip wasn't bad enough, these cheeky little fleshlights are putting up roadblocks as well. Too bad for them, I got a cranky frog and a sassy racist in the backseat. You guys are in for a bruising. With the squad dealing with the evil iPhones, I dealt with the doors and we were off once again, until we ran into the same roadblock not even 2 minutes away. Real funny, guys, but you're rarely interfering with pub night. Rinse and repeat, we finally get the go ahead to drive down to the base, but then Joker informs us that we're grounded? Excuse me, Seth Green, but I'm a grown adult. I will not be grounded, especially today of all days when I haven't had a single drop of Copperberg. We turn up to the camp and I ask this Curahi guy if he knows of any local bars in the area, but he informs me that I've landed in a hot zone. I firmly tell him that I'm sorry, but I'm happily taken by the racist woman to my left. But maybe next year, Captain Scaly. He lets us know the big bad bird Saren has set up a research facility nearby to breed an army of Krogan, as he's discovered a cure for the genophage. Sounds like an awful curry. I'll just have a chicken tikka, please. Rex decides to include himself in this conversation and gets very upset about something important to him. I don't really know. He's just making things a bit awkward if I'm being honest. But he has helped me immensely so far in this journey. So I'm gonna go speak to him privately and see if there's not something we can sort out. Hey Rex, man. Listen, you can have the genophage if you want. We're about to get the order started on Uber Effect.
The lines between friend and foe are getting a little blurry from where I stand.
Listen, man, I really can't afford a falling out with you currently. You got the best loot on you right now, and Ashley's kind of pointing a gun at you at the moment.
That's a chance we should be willing to take. This is the fate of my entire people we're talking about.
Oh, wait, you meant the infertility problem your race has. Oh yeah, no, Saren doesn't have a cure for that. It's just a cure for acne.
Just one thing. When we find Saren, I want his head.
That's just not necessary information. With Rex happy with the decision I insisted upon him, all is well in the world and we can finally move on with our mission. Ooh, let's just speed up this speech real quick. A lot of chatter in this one, huh guys? Oh, he took Caden with him, okay. With sand below my shoes and an ego on my shoulder, it's time to finally find out for sure if this place is as barren as it's shown itself to be. I figured I might as well take off on the unbeaten path to see if there's at the very least some fallen coconuts I can miss with my flask of Rancor. But instead, all I met with is my crew unintentionally helping out Captain Boomerang's crew. He even took out a group of drones just for funsies. I'm starting to remember now, the further into the playthrough of Mass Effect you are, the more OP we become. And it's all thanks to me. Even when I don't mean to, I'm saving lives. Moving further into the base, Ashley decides to check if our food order we put in is on its way yet, but all she can find is access to the base's security. Okay, so what you're saying is the delivery driver is taking the piss and the food's gonna be cold. Okay. We make our way inside the base, but the workers decide to open fire on us for some reason. Listen, pal, I don't know what kind of company calls itself indoctrinated, but you better wise yourself up before I write a very passive-aggressive letter to HR. Moving further inside, we find a talkative Solarian doing his best impression of my cats when they see chicken from the living room door.
Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
The squad continues to rain fire on these secret labs, but then the game gives me an option to speak to a husk and my brain just couldn't focus on anything else. But suddenly, out of cut content nowhere, a doctor walks in and tells me I've missed my blood test on the Citadel. Like that's my fucking fault. Dr. Yapper kept on talking about everything but the damn blood test. Without time to even react, the doctor and his test subjects attack us, but thankfully, the crew has had their apple a day on hand and wipes the floor with the NHS. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse on this godforsaken planet, I see it. Another 5G tower, just like the one we saw on Eden Prime. I best stay away. Who knows what this can do to me? And I'm levitating once again. Once the episode was over and I finally found out who Pookie is, I went upstairs to leave because the hype was not worth it. But then this strange red hologram appeared in front of us.
Rudimentary creatures of blood and flesh. You touch my mind, fumbling in ignorance, incapable of understanding.
Wow, sick beats, man. You should really get that on a t-shirt. Now this right here is what I call character development. A few missions ago, these guys would have been done for with more than one Krogan. But now they are just making the entire race of Krogan their bitch. Feeling indestructible at this point, we keep the mystery machine moving up the ramp and then we can... And the game crashed. After the game gave me a reminder that I needed to eat, we move up the ramp so our brave heroes can take on a Geth Sapper. Sapper? I barely know her. Passing the numerous Geth and dad jokes, we finally reach our destination and oh yeah, we're setting off a whole nuke here, aren't we? I completely forgot. Well, not forgot, I just didn't pay attention. With the nuke in position, the mission is nearing completion.
Negative, Commander. The Geth have us pinned down on the AA tower.
Okay, sure thing, Caden. We'll be right there. That guy is so clingy, you have no idea. Ashley decides to stay with the bomb. Probably getting shy around Ned Shepard. I completely understand. So I thought Garrus could come for a walk with us. My guy deserves it working on the Mako and wondering why I never come down to speak to him. But karma hits me for that, as I have over 40 points to spend on the guy. Luckily, we don't need to go that far anyway, so this should be rather simple. Is that 3 Krogan warriors? After an unexpected bathroom break in this place, We make our way up the elevator until both Ashley and Caden start barking different things in my ear. From the sounds of it, both of them are in some sort of trouble, and I can only get to one of them in time. This has Ned Shepard stuck in limbo. He's a hero to all, but it sounded like he could only save one. Conflicted, confused, and slightly constipated, he makes the hardest decision he's ever had to make in his life. He goes for Ashley. He comes back down to save Ashley.
Understand, Commander. I don't regret a thing.
Okay, buddy, see you later. Back in the elevator, we get a little jump scare from a program that was not dealt with. This is why I don't take you anywhere, Garrus. I could have been hurt. Regardless of past mistakes, we make our way back down to the nuke site where we see a random ass Alliance soldier melting some gas. Like, goddamn, who is this guy? Even when Rex and Garrus got dropped like flies, this gladiator just kept on fighting. Damn, son. You want to join the crew by any chance? With all the LEDs dealt with, we can finally... Who's the loser on the hoverboard? With a sudden burst of anger, Shepard starts shooting the guy. Thank goodness they were just dummy rounds. That could have seriously hurt someone. With a conversation brewing and the Alliance soldier dropping it down real low, I realised something about this bird guy. This is the Saren guy everyone had complained about. I don't see the big deal, honestly. He says he applauds me, and that's very polite. As cool as it was to meet him, like everyone else, he began talking all about Reapers, Sovereign, and something called the Conduit. Sounds like hard drugs. I'd love to get involved. He must have really not liked that idea because he opens fire on me and the boys, and I don't want to look weak in front of the lads. So I think it's in my best interest to hide from everyone's view. I thought maybe the crew would struggle with this guy. He has a hoverboard after all. But no. They were the kings of this soon-to-be crater. Damn, Garrus. Maybe I was wrong about not bringing you out with me. I'll have to see what we can do with you. Ow! What the fuck? Jeez, Mr. Baron, you hit me out with my narration. Could you give me a second to... Oh god, get the fuck off me! My racist girlfriend wouldn't like this at all! Looks like someone didn't want to be cancelled on YouTube, so Mr. Boundary Breaker over here quickly leaves the scene, and we can finally get off this planet. All that effort and not a single pub in sight. We have a staff meeting so everyone can tell me what a good job I did. But everyone seems down about something. I can't even begin to understand why. Past unnecessary tears. Liara asked me if I want to link Steam accounts together with family sharing, and I'm not playing much besides the finals right now, and I figured it couldn't hurt to try. But before I could even log in, Marge Simpson keeps on randomly saying, "The Conduit is on Ilos, the Conduit is on Ilos." Okay, but respectfully, when did I ask Liara?
Who the hell is this bitch?
Moving on from Liara being the oldest, youngest boomer to ever exist, my homie Joker lets me know that the council wishes us to report back to the Citadel. More than likely they want to give me a medal or GTA 12 for how well I've been performing on my mission. They told me no cameras in the meeting though, so I'll be sure to let you all know how it goes when we're done. So they've grounded me from going out. After the tragic news, I have a bit of a falling over, but thankfully Trump activist Ashley comes and helps pick me up. I kinda noticed the smell of a Big Mac on her breath, so I lean in to see if my suspicions were correct. Wait, she's leaning in as well, and I know I definitely haven't had a Big Mac. Maybe if I try to eat
Sorry
her.
to interrupt.
Oh, thank God for that. Fed up with all this tape surrounding Shepard. Yeah, I know they're saying there's red tape, but Shepard is colorblind to red. Despite all this, Shepard takes the opportunity of being off duty to finally go for that night out, and he knows the Citadel has one of the best bars this side of the Milky Way. But before we could even have a single drink, Captain Anderson suggests breaking the lockdown on the Normandy and taking it for ourselves so we can continue our journey to Ilos. I like the way you think, Valverdam. Luckily, I have a spare set of keys on me. Oh hey, you should go deck Udina in the face. Oh shit, I didn't actually think he'd do it. Let's get out of here. On the run from the galaxy's most useless government, some things never change. Ned Shepard truly knows now that maybe tracking down this Saren guy might be in his best interest after all. But I'm only gonna go Ilos if you guys want to go Ilos, because I don't want to suggest something you don't want to do, and then it's a whole thing of not wanting to be there. and I feel like I've dragged you out when you just want to stay in. Just after I set the GPS to Ilos, the other boss calls me and tells me he has an urgent mission that only I can see through. No offense, sir, but the entire galaxy is actually at stake if I don't see this mission through. I know I'm a bit of a jokester and all, but I'm sorry, I simply don't have enough time for distractions. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm about to have sex with a fellow Alliance officer.
I see a strong, passionate man with a great ass.
Thanks, I can't wait for Miranda to say that. Two minutes later, and I get the feeling something else is nearing its climax. With the Normandy finally reaching Ilos, we try and look for a parking spot, but it's looking like there's no spaces left. Tali has her only line just far and suggests just using the disabled parking spot, and this is exactly why you don't get taken out on missions, Tali. Go back downstairs and think about what you said. With all that negative energy out of the room, we just decided it would be funny to drop down to the car anyways. The damn door gets shut on us before we can enter, never suggesting a late night big Tesco trip again. We gotta find a way to get this big old door open again. So we decide to check out just what Saren and the band of Wi-Fi was walking away from. And is that 2 Geth armatures? Now, as much as I would love to stay and chat for big fellas, I got a meeting with a parakeet, so I'm about to pull a move that I pull out only in the most dire situations. Running past you. And run I did. Running so damn fast, my squad mates had to discover teleportation to keep up with me. Remembering that I'm asthmatic, we stumbled upon an elevator and took it down to see if there was a bus route heading directly towards the Conduit. But all we were met with was crimes, and even in the future, no one is daring to drink lead. Logan Paul did not like what I said at all about his beverage, and decided to block my right to live real quick. But please, remember who you're dealing with. I like my galaxy existing, bro. Back in the fight, I decide to pull a devious strategy of moving straight up these stairs at the other side of the room, while the crew chip away at the enemies one by one. With the crew of Elbrook's side door taken care of, we speak to what looks like a very old, very broken hologram. Our ancestors used to call this ChatGPT. With the system working in our favor, we're able to work our way back up to the surface and finally take the car through the big old stone door from before. Katana is right. This place is definitely no natural rock formation. Continuing our ride down the town of Pods, we had to once again carefully dodge the silly rocket Geth that Saren kept at hand. Would have been really awkward for them if we didn't actually make our way through here, huh? It doesn't take long for us to be met with another obstacle in our way, so you'll never guess what we do. That's right, we go home. Lol, no. Could you imagine? Nah, instead we take a nearby elevator down these mold gathering walls and speak to an even bigger hologram named Vigil. Well, actually, it's more of an AI running off its last pack of batteries, but it gives us some of the most important lore dump this game has, and it's vital we pay attention to what he has to say. Anyways, we ask if he can take down the shields, and he's more than willing to. Oh, also, the Citadel is the Conduit, and the Reapers are about to make their return from dark space. Gulp. Insert MCU comic relief moment here. With not a second left to lose, we're back in the fakest of taxis and put our foot down. And we dodge and dodge and dodge and even some more dodging. And then we see it. The poo relay.
Hello there.
Sorry, the Mew relay. That of which conveniently leads us right back to the Citadel. I love fast travel. With Big Boy Sovereign and his ragtag group of Intel CPUs beginning their assault on the Citadel, we drive the Mako straight into the relay to take us exactly right where we need to be. With the galaxy's least favourite whip destroyed and my driving licence expiring, the squad deals with a few nasty looking husks after they're taken off their hooks like it's Dead by Daylight. Whilst they're dealing with the bored zombies, I rush to the elevator to catch up to that cheeky devil Saren. I sure hope one of those husks went harking. Got a pretty strong feeling that guy was into me. With that cheeky parrot already in the tower and the big lobster making its way as well, there was no time to lose for Ned, Shepard and friends. Thinking the world owes me a favour right about now and I could just take the elevator straight up, life fucks me and the elevator comes to a halt. I'm pissed, and not in the intoxicated way I wish to be. I shoot the glass, hoping no pieces hit some poor guy's house, and tell the girls we're walking up this place sideways like that one Ariana Grande music video. With no time to lose and my anxiety hitting the roof, wondering if Dr. Michelle could see me from the side, Me and the besties pull out a full-on sprint with Rex and Morning Breath, evaporating any enemies that show their face. Like seriously, it's just disgusting at this point, just how slick they are eliminating the opposition. This is what it must be like to be a proud parent. Ignore the fact we're seeing Ashley, otherwise that expression is really bad. Moving further up the shaft, we stumble into a problem that we just can't sprint away from. 4 sausage rolls cost £6.20. Are you taking the piss? Sorry, no, not that. A Geth dropship has entered the arena contestants and a health bar in tow. Contemplating on how this is not what the psychic said would happen to me today. The crew kept on dropping the troops this ship was putting out. I was getting worried this would be one of those moments where the game would just keep throwing enemies at me relentlessly. Though, to my surprise, eventually it got to a point where no more enemies was showing up. So I estimated that there was nothing but an empty ship floating above us. Reluctantly, with tears in my eyes, I throw my Pokeball up like I'm in Emerald City. I decide to use the tower's defenses to my advantage and destroy the ship. And I will mark it on the list of the dead, along with the Thorian's webbed feet. Though I think we can all argue that no one was actually killed by my hands there.
Look, a shooting star.
I'm a Spectre, right?
Should make a wish.
I'm guaranteed to get a good lawyer.
Spaceship.
What the fuck is that?
Let's just hope the ship doesn't land on an orphanage or something. With the Tesla ship out the way and all of its space twists safe and sound, we're able to move closer to our... Is that a rocket? Using the time stone from Doctor Strange, we're able to get right back into gear, and whilst the team has the heavy turrets distracted, I take the opportunity upon myself to activate my barrier and zoom past without the turrets having time to even look over and say goodbye. With my Fortnite kicks getting roughed up, we are finally able to reach the access hatch and enter the tower. We are met with even more combat, but I didn't play the shitty Chapter 2 remake season for nothing, and just ran straight past all the outdated bumper balls to confront fuckboy Saren once and for all. Stop right there, Saren. The gig is up. We have you cornered. Is that the geek board again? With Saren forcing me into a position Shepard is all too comfortable with by now, we start chatting about the important things in life, like peanut butter, Fortnite OG, and goth women. Unfortunately, Saren has mainly wanted to talk about the work he's got done to his face and how sovereign is what the internet calls his Discord kitten. The topics of listed crimes he's committed also happens to come up as well, but the world loves a villain to hero arc, so I quickly leap up and say,
It's not over yet. You can still redeem yourself.
Jesus man, I just meant turn yourself in. With Saren sleeping with the fishes, or with the glass shards lodged in his back, we're able to reopen Citadel arms, and we're met with the choice of holding off our forces to save our strength, or save the council. And let me tell you something, when the opportunity arises to make other people do all the hard work for me, and I get to take all the credit for it, you best believe I'm choosing to save those useless little influencers every time. With the command in place, I ask Rex to go down and double tap Saren just in case he somehow comes back alive from shooting himself in the face. Better safe than stupid. Rex heads down and pretends to shoot the body with finger guns, and what a surprise, the body starts doing the gritty, probably because Rex decided to play toy soldiers at the worst time imaginable. Saren now turned into a reskinned Geth hopper. The time for me to cower right next to a beautifully placed crate to hibernate is nigh. With both Rex and Ashley focused entirely on Saren, they're able to whittle down his shields, and once they're dealt with, his health bar disappears quicker than Willy Wonka when the child murders are brought. But wait, there's more! This is a two-step boss fight, silly, and this next part will be the most intense firefight just far. So let's... oh, he's dead. Well, with a certainly anticlimactic end to my favourite pigeon, the boys in the sky are able to band together and deal with the silly looking robot sea creature, putting an end to these deadly little shitheads. Is that a piece of shrimp headed straight for us? A little while later, under the midst of smoke and debris, Rex and Ashley are found by Captain KO, but there's no sign of Ned Shepard. It seems the hero of this story just may have met his end. This is truly a sad day for all involved, that the man who wouldn't ever lift a finger is gone. Rest easy, sweet prince. Oh my fucking god, he lived. This guy really does have 9 lives? What a living legend. Time to plant a fat kiss on Harkin. With the battle over, Shepard, Anderson, and the other one have an important little meet with the council about recent events, and as expected, they're all glazing me for how I saved the day and everything. I don't even know what Rex and Ashley were doing. freeloaders. The council keeps on talking, and Ned Shepard's stomach could murder a sandwich right about now. So he, after saying a load of waffle himself, leaves to not fight another day. And there we have it, the entirety of Mass Effect 1 without ever having to put down a single enemy personally. Ned Shepard is truly the most innocent and laziest soldier the Alliance has ever seen. If you guys set yourself this challenge and make the actual unhinged decision to put on insanity difficulty or something, do let me know. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. But now the galaxy is safe from those nasty sounding little Reapers, we can finally get some much needed R&R and a few medals on top.